Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Unwritten Rules by Pamela O'Rourke. Narrated by Benjamin Crow and Victoria Aston. He's more myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. Emily Bronte. Prologue. Nate. 8 years ago. Welcome back, sir. I trust your trip was satisfactory. It was complete and utter shit, to put it mildly, Weatherby. Has Zara arrived yet? I shook my coat, shaking the downpour from the drenched outer layer before passing it into our butler's waiting hands. He takes it from me, gesturing towards the grand staircase. She's upstairs, I believe, sir. Flashing him an easy grin, I race up the stairs, heading to the rooms our house manager had assigned to Zara upon our return from the Bahamas earlier this year. Having my own space is a necessity for me. As a writer, I need my privacy, so I sleep alone. My fiancée understands that inspiration can strike at any given moment. Yet another reason why we are so well matched. Zara Harrison is everything a man of my station needs in a life partner, and I count myself damn lucky to have found her. I'm so focused on getting to her that I don't hear the sounds coming from my father's quarters, sounds that I'm intimately familiar with. It isn't until I've passed the open doorway leading to his private space that it hits me. Oh, yes! Yes, Saviour! Fuck me! Fuck me harder! I stop, dead in my tracks. My mind is racing at 1,000,000 miles per hour, attempting to make sense of what I'm hearing. As though in a trance, I walk backwards to enter the door without conscious thought. My feet automatically propel me closer to the ongoing monologue. Deeper! Fucking deeper, damn it! The sounds of wet skin slapping and a low growl should stop me where I am, right in the middle of my heir's living area, because deep inside, I know what I'm about to witness. But the thought doesn't stop me. Nothing could right now. If anything, my feet move faster. Yes! Come inside my pussy. Give it to me. A long, low, male groan greets my ears as I round the corner into the bedroom. There, before me, my fiancée is naked on her hands and knees, her shoulder-length platinum hair drenched with sweat and hanging across her face. Still, I'd know her anywhere. Thanks to his outdoor pursuits, my father's still fit, and his athletic body is motionless behind her. He's grasping her hips tightly, as he's blatantly just finished. Neither has seen me yet, when Zara falls forward onto the bed, her cheek hitting the mattress. Christ, Saviour! Your cock is magical. She giggles, in that coquettish way of hers that I'd foolishly assumed was reserved for me alone. The sound reverberates through the room, through my body, and settles deep in my chest cavity as I turn to leave. But my vision blurs, and the walls seem to shrink before my very eyes. My legs almost buckle from beneath me, and I grab a nearby side table to steady myself, the noise drawing their attention. Oh my God, Nate! I hear Zara try to scramble off the bed, followed by a whimper. My vision blurs at the edges when I glance back to find my father has firmly pushed her face down on the bed, her pleading eyes finding mine. I'm so sorry, Nate. I never meant... I believe you know where the door is, son. My father's Baltic tone reaches my ears, bringing me back to the here and now with a jolt. Inhaling deeply, I square my shoulders, silently vowing to never again display weakness in moments where action is required. Indeed, Father. Farewell. Giving them both my ramrod straight back, I march from the bedroom, through the living area and into the hallway beyond. I make one minor detour to my living quarters to grab 2 photos, one of my brother and the other of my band of brothers. Satisfied that I have everything of value, I rapidly stride to the entryway to find Weatherby, with my still drenched coat in hand, by the front door. "Sir, please." I hold up a quelling hand, halting his speech immediately. "I shan't require any of my personal items, Weatherby. Please see that my quarters are secured and that Miss Harrison returns my mother's engagement ring before she leaves." He moves to drape my coat over my shoulders, a sad, pensive look on his familiar face. "Sir." His voice drops to a whisper. "Nathaniel, it has been an honor to watch you grow into such a wonderful young man." My heart, or what's left of it, clenches in my chest, and I offer him a terse nod before ducking out into the wild winter storm that's got nothing on the storm raging inside me.
Chapter 1. Mila. 4 months ago. My body jolts to awareness, sweat and tears mingling across my face as I desperately try to slow my pounding heart and racing thoughts. I reach for my phone, knowing precisely who to call, who I've always called in the past when the nightmares return. My thumb hovers over his name as awareness returns to my sleep-addled brain and his words echo excruciatingly in my ears. "I'm not into fucking little girls. Now run along, Hellcat. It's past your bedtime." A lump catches in my throat as I try to swallow down the ache that those words fill me with. My eyes fill with a new influx of tears for a memory more painful than those I relive in my nightmares. I allow myself 60 seconds, 1 minute to grieve the loss of the most beautiful friendship I could ever have wished for, thrown away in a moment of temporary insanity. A moment where I'd all but begged my brother's best friend to kiss me in some ill-conceived hope that my feelings, hopes and desires were somehow reciprocated. Dashing the tears from my lower lashes, using the back of my hand, I throw off the cover and swing my legs over the side of the bed. I grab my mobile phone, toss a white satin robe over my shoulders and stride into the open-plan living area of my new London penthouse. Pacing up and down in front of the floor-to-ceiling glass windows that stare across the London skyline, I blow out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Fuck's sake, what are you doing? It would have been easier and much less lonely to have just taken my brother, Henry, up on his offer to move in with him and his wife Liv, but I'd needed space from everything that reminded me of making the greatest mistake of my life. In the 6 months that had passed since Henry and Liv's beautiful wedding, where I'd fucked things royally, I'd carried on as though everything was perfectly fine, as though Nate packing up and moving to fucking Surrey was an everyday occurrence that in no way, shape or form bothered me. I'd visited my other brother Alex in New York. I'd helped my best friend Eliza get settled at school. I'd thrown myself headfirst into helping a newly pregnant Liv with her brand new non-profit. Catherine's house is a halfway home for London's homeless, funded by my family's company, DeMarco Holdings, a global entertainment giant led by my savvy eldest brother and our father before him. I'd followed my heart, enrolling in university here in London rather than following in my siblings' footsteps to work at DeMarco, despite having worked there on and off during previous years. But none of it could ease the soul-deep sadness that permeated me and soaked into my being when I allowed myself to stop running from the past, when I let myself remember how things could have been had I not misread all the signs, if I'd not misread his kindness and thoughtfulness as something that it clearly was not. Heaving a heavy sigh of remorse, I stop my incessant pacing. Once I've stilled, my eyes land on my rose gold Mac sitting on the marble countertop of the kitchen island. Crossing the distance, I'm already opening it and signing in before my ass has touched one of the high stools surrounding the island. I pull up my emails, scrolling until I find my old therapist's details. This has been going on too long. These nightmares need to go away, and I can't use Nate as my crutch this time. After all that had happened, I'd cancelled my weekly sessions with Dr. Jameson, not wanting to tell him the whole sordid truth, and he knows me so well, he'd have surely seen through the guise I've been living under in a heartbeat. I've tried for 6 long-ass months, but the nightmares continue to grow in their intensity, aimlessness now that I'm without Nate's steadfast, guiding presence, cloaking my days. So I know that it's past time to ask for help. Sender, Mila DeMarco, milademarco@demarcoholdings.com. Recipient, Taylor Jameson, jamesontaylor@jamesonmedical.com. Good morning, Dr. Jameson. I hope this email finds you well. I know I am currently not on your patient roster and have not been for several months now, but I was hoping I could make an appointment to see you over the coming weeks. It's nothing too urgent, so no rush on getting back to me. All the best, Mila DeMarco. With the message sent, I gently close the laptop and scoot off the stool, hoping against hope that he can see me sooner rather than later, if only to save me from calling Nate like my heart is screaming to. The next afternoon, I bunk off class to find myself at Jameson Medical, following a call from my therapist. He told me he'd had a cancellation for 2 p.m, much to my delight. Right on time, he sticks his head out of his office, eyes landing on me. Come right this way, Mila. I move to quickly follow, both nervous about opening up and excited that I may just find some peace after this appointment. Good afternoon, Mila. Dr. Jameson greets me from his place behind the desk in his neutral-toned office. His lips curl up in a small smile and his dove-grey eyes twinkle warmly as I slip into his office. Thank you so much for seeing me, Dr. Jameson. I slide into the seat opposite him, with the desk between us, my long, dark hair falling across my face as I get comfortable. Once I'm settled, I find his worried gaze on me, brow crumpled in his signature sincerity. Have the nightmares returned? Nodding, I wring my fingers together in my lap. It's like I'm back there, all over again, live and in technicolor. I can feel the gag in my mouth. I can smell his lemony scent in my nostrils. I can see the utter hatred in her eyes, her nails on my... I cannot stop myself from running my fingertips along the small scar on my temple, the only physical reminder of the kidnapping almost 3 years ago. I glance up to find my therapist's eyes firmly on my hand's movements, his jaw ticking, though he remains silent. His quiet support bolsters me, so I continue. I can still feel the recoil from the gun sometimes. My arms ache at the memory, and no matter how strong I make myself out to be, I killed someone. I took someone's life, and it's been... I trail off and attempt to swallow the lump in my throat. It's been hard to live with that. You had been doing so well prior to ending our sessions. Have there been any recent events that may have initiated the return of these nightmares, Mila? His head is tilted as he watches me intensely, his brow furrowed in concentration. I chew my bottom lip, knowing what the catalyst was, but undesiring to share such an embarrassing part of my life. Sensing my hesitation, Dr. Jameson probes gently. This is a safe place, Mila. Whatever we discuss here is private, between you and me alone. He smiles softly, encouragingly, and with absolute understanding, so before I can stop myself, I'm spilling it all, every last drop of honesty, no matter how bitter the taste. I think it goes back to before the kidnapping, though I can't pinpoint when exactly. The events of that day made me certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that there was something more between... I stop, my eyes flickering up to my therapist. I'm hesitant to continue because I know I'm in his office instead of anyone else's because of his friendship with my brother, because Taylor Jameson is an old school friend of my brother Henry and his best friends Caden and Nate. Mila, I promise you, what we speak of, no one else will ever hear a word. Safe place. This is a safe place. My mouth lifts slightly, in something between a smile and a grimace, when I continue to spill my truth. Nate took the fall that day, despite not having to. He protected me, and we became something much more than friends, or at least I thought so. My voice drops to a whisper in my attempt to conceal the emotion behind my words, even while I know I am utterly transparent. Over the weekends afterwards, we'd watch old movies and rom-coms. I forced him to watch that Reese Witherspoon one, Just Like Heaven, about 1,000,000 times, and he never complained. I became an addict for a happily ever after, I snort, and he couldn't tell me no. My nostrils flare, and my heart rate kicks up as I allow the memories to flow through my veins like grains of sand through my fingertips. It was between all that, all the time spent cooking my nonna's recipes and gorging ourselves silly on gnocchi and tiramisu, all those days spent debating Aston versus Bronte, Hemingway versus Fitzgerald, and all the silly conversations we threw into the mix, the understanding we had when it came to taking the life of a living creature, no matter if they deserved it or not. He just got me on another level. I heave a sigh and let my eyes fall closed. And somewhere along the way, Nathaniel somehow became so deeply ingrained in my DNA that at times I wasn't sure where he ended and I began. My brow slides into a frown as confusion openly dances across my face. I just don't see how he could treat our friendship as something so easily discardable. I feel anchorless without him, and stupid that I completely misread the situation between us. Dropping my head into my hands, I blow out a breath as I hear Dr. Jameson stand from his chair and move closer. When I open my eyes, I see him leaning against the desk, closer than before. His kind, empathy-filled grey eyes are fixed on me intently until my lids squeeze tightly shut, unwilling to allow him to see the depth of my pain. "This is good, Mila. This is progress. It's why I'm here. It's why you are here. You don't have to face these feelings alone. I helped you before. I can help you again. You just need to trust me." For the first time in 6 long months, I feel the overwhelming pull of despair ebb away. Just a little bit, but enough that I can relax my shoulders and maybe, just maybe, find enough inner strength to get through this.
Chapter 2. Nate. Present day. I'm pleased to see that you fit right in, Nathaniel. Glancing up from my desk at the sound of Chancellor Branson Higgins's voice, I nod and stand to extend my hand, my palm finding his outstretched one. Of course, I had a feeling you would. Your father always spoke highly of you. May he rest in peace. A tight smile and flared nostrils are the only way I can respond to that blatant bullshit. My asshole of a father most certainly never spoke about me to Branson Higgins, let alone highly, considering I was the biggest disappointment of his illustrious life. Speaking of Xavier, I've just had my secretary send the invites for the dedication ceremony. You'll say a few words, I'm sure. My jaw ticks as regret flashes through my mind. Walden Forbes is a private university in the Surrey countryside, funded in no small part by my late father's estate. And if I just kept my hands to myself, I wouldn't be stuck here now. I'd never have made the uncharacteristic, wholly impulsive decision to accept a damned guest lecturer position here. Higgins withdraws his hand from my firm grasp and sits heavily in the chair on the other side of my desk. I just incline my head, neither confirming nor denying his request, before taking a seat opposite him. "And classes are going well, I take it?" Obviously noting my immovable features and less than eager demeanour, the Chancellor keenly switches to a safer topic. My thankfully deceased sire and the obscene ball they will, no doubt, be throwing in his honour are the very last thing I wish to speak of. Yes, indeed, Branson. I've more than doubled the number of tutorials, and I still don't have enough hours in the day to get to those on the waiting lists. Having successfully steered the topic to smoother seas, Higgins, an apparent imbecile stupidly veers back to choppy waters, getting straight to the point of his visit. "My niece told me you've cancelled her sessions. Might I inquire as to your reasons, Nathaniel?" That stupid cow. Obviously, my attempts to keep the female students, namely Miss Monica Higgins, at arm's length, have been in vain, and thus drastic measures must be taken. Reclining deeply, I steeple my fingers, bringing my joined pointers to rest underneath my chin. Then I begin tapping my middle ones against my lips as I intensify the depth of my gaze. He fidgets under my scrutiny while I allow the tension to build between us. The silence is heavy and fraught until he clears his throat, splintering the ear-piercing stillness of the room. "Nathaniel, did you know Monica has a mole on her left areola?" Linking my fingers together, I rest them on my stomach, the picture of indifference. I allow a hint of a smile to tug at the corner of my mouth, while Higgins's face falls faster than the Dow Jones on Black Monday. "Now, Branson, ask me how I know that." I arch an eyebrow, taunting him to take the bait, which he does spectacularly. Having composed himself somewhat, Higgins lurches to stand, doing his utmost to tower menacingly over me. "Hawthorne, if you have so much as laid a finger—" Unfurling my frame from my seat with a speed that sends Higgins stumbling back in sheer shock, I rise to my full height to loom above him. I tut loudly, sarcastically. "I don't fuck little girls, Branson." My chest tightens, and nausea claws at my gut as I repeat the phrase that changed my life only 10 short months ago. Memories threaten to spill over into real time as I frantically shove them back into that vault at the back of my mind, the one I can't allow myself to open. I clear the frog from my throat and step around the side of the desk, invading Higgins's personal space. But Monica certainly didn't get the memo when I rejected her advances. I pause, letting the tension build before growling. "Oh no. Instead, I come back here." I gesture around the room. "After my final tutorial last Tuesday, only to find Monica spread-eagled and buck-naked on this very desk." When I pound my hand onto the solid oak, he flinches like the sound has hurt his ears, and his eyes widen impossibly. "When I told her to vacate my private space, your niece proceeded to tell me that I would regret my decision." Her words ring through my ears from 10 months ago. "You'll regret that, Nathaniel Hawthorne. Mark my fucking words, you'll live to regret this fucking moment." I shake my head, brows deeply drawn together in frustration at my inability to keep her from my thoughts. Branson uses the time to stare, open-mouthed, trying to compose himself unsuccessfully. I'm sorry. Having effectively put a lid on the Pandora's box inside my mind, I get a grip on myself first. "Obviously, you'll understand why I can no longer continue private tutorials with your niece, Branson. Monica has a very much unrequited crush, and I'd rather not encourage it." I soften my tone slightly, feeling a little remorseful now about how I chose to deliver this news. As he rallies himself somewhat, I feel a grudging respect for the man when he finds my eyes with his own and extends his hand for a second time today. "My most sincere apologies, Nathaniel. My assumptions... Well, I think my immediate thought was that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, if you'll forgive me." Instead of flinching at the reminder that my father did indeed fuck girls far too young for him, I grasp his hand to pump it slowly. I can see now I was very much mistaken. You can trust me when I say this, Branson. I am nothing like that man. Allowing his hand to drop from my hold, I step back, silently acknowledging the end of our exchange. Chancellor Higgins nods minutely as he huffs. I apologize for the slight, Nathaniel, and for Monica. He trails off, a deep flush climbing his neck to stain his portly cheeks. Yes. Well. Turning to his right, Higgins grips the door handle, twisting sharply before turning his face to mine to nod brusquely. Have a pleasant evening. I tip my chin once, then he's out the door like a flash, pulling his mobile from his pocket as he goes. I don't even try to stop the slow, knowing smile that slashes my face. He's going to tear her a new one. I firmly push all thoughts of asinine students from my head, knowing full well that tomorrow will undoubtedly be more of the same. Finally, I grab my briefcase, pocket my phone, and switch off the lights as I leave my office at last. The cool spring air is a welcome relief when I exit the building. I head directly for my car, with my head fixed on the ground, lest I accidentally make eye contact with someone, warranting an entirely unnecessary chinwag. I climb into my black Mercedes-Benz G-Class and toss my briefcase over my shoulder. Upon hearing it land with a thud on the messy back seat, I pull my phone out to quickly confirm my evening's plans. Me. Are you still good for tonight? The dots immediately begin to dance on my screen before a reply pops up. V. I need to be home by 10 p.m. Can you do earlier? Glancing at my wristwatch, I note it's already past 6 p.m. Scrunching up my face in thought, I rapidly debate the pros and cons, but land on the only real solution. I can bypass dinner and head straight there. Needs must, after all. Me. Perfect. I'll be there within the hour, so you should be golden. I slide the phone into my hands free and peel out of the staff car park. Maybe I'll stop for a burger en route. Unfortunately for my growling stomach, all other needs are superseded by my desire to ensure that I arrive at my destination within the hour. Hey Siri, play The Cure. Just like heaven, drums blaze to life on the speakers as I allow my mind to drift perilously close to the forbidden vault, the lyrics in no way helping my state of mind. I'm drained following the events of the day. Fending off amorous advances from co-eds without a brain cell between them is tiring work indeed. The entitled little shits only sign up for my Shakespearean workshops because their more money-than-sense parents pay the exorbitant fees to allow their offspring to attend Walden Forbes. And that ending to the day with Higgins in my office has just compounded my frustrations. Perhaps just a peak. My heart seizes in my chest, and my grip tightens on the steering wheel when a flash of golden eyes and silky dark hair crosses my vision, so close that I can almost smell her intoxicating vanilla fragrance tickling my nostrils, making them flare as my dick springs to life in my slacks. A memory assaults me, and I'm altogether too tired of fighting it any longer, as I allow it to whisper desires and bone-weary regret across my mind. Have a great time at your brother's wedding this weekend, Mila, and I'll see you next Thursday. Thank you so much for your help today, Dr. Jameson. Mila and Taylor Jameson, an old friend from high school, appear in my line of vision at the offices of Jameson Medical. He opens his mouth to respond to her thanks as Mila catches sight of me, her face lighting up in a bright, unfettered smile. And I'm entirely...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?